Thanks, Tony. Deputy Attorney General Bill Stokes says in cases like these, it's a battle of the experts. And that's simply what it came down to today in closing arguments. Both parties used the testimonies of two psychologists as key evidence in support of each case, but it didn't take long for the jurors to make up their minds. Just after 1 o'clock this afternoon, jurors found Thane Ormsby criminally responsible for the murders of Jeffrey Ryan, his 10-year-old son Jesse, and family friend Jason DeHaan. This marks the end of a long road this case has taken since June 22nd, 2010.
Obviously very, very pleased with the verdicts, very impressed with the conscientiousness of the jurors. This has been a 3-week ordeal for them. They've basically been hijacked from their lives.
Before closing arguments, the defense sought to challenge Dr. Deborah Bader's persuasive testimony from the day before that Thane Ormsby was not legally insane at the time he stabbed the three to death. That defense was quickly denied, and now that Ormsby will be held criminally responsible on all 4 counts, they are looking to appeal.
Our hope is that that deficit of knowledge was not something that was acted on by the jury. That's our hope. And to the extent that we can continue to address that issue through the appeal process, we will.
In closing arguments, both the defense and prosecution used testimony from experienced psychologists who formed individual opinions on Ormsby's mental state at the time of the crime.
We think Dr. Thomas's opinion with respect to the delusional disorder was sound, and the jury simply didn't accept it.
Another key piece of evidence the defense presented in closing was Ormsby's confession by letter and by video, in which he describes why he chose to complete his murder mission on the 22nd.
It's interesting in numerology for a couple reasons. Because it's both by multiplication and addition, it comes out the same way. But I don't know what it means necessarily.
Okay.
It has a meaning,
okay,
but that's beyond my knowledge.
Okay.
But prosecutors say it was this confession that indicates Ormsby knew very well what he did was wrong.
You know, there is no parole in Maine. You don't get time off for good behavior on a life sentence. So, you know, short of a gubernatorial pardon, and I can't imagine any governor granting a pardon in this case, you know, he will die in prison.
Ormsby, who is turning 23 years old sometime soon, will face a minimum sentence of 25 years in prison per count. Defense says they will be filing an appeal. Tony?